The window is closing. AI is fast, it's powerful, it's easy, it has the potential to make you millions, which means everyone is doing it. I started the lead gen agency in 2024 and scaled it to $1 million in 1 year because I built AI systems that do most of the work. Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, has predicted that a business consisting of just one person and their laptop will be worth $1 billion, and it could happen as soon as 2028, which means the window is actually closing. If you want to start a business in 2026, you need to pick the right one and do it before the market floods and all the good ideas are taken and all the money goes to the guy who got there first and AGI kills all of our jobs. And okay, look, a lot of people are talking like this and they're not wrong. AI is an incredibly powerful multiplier. What the Industrial Revolution did for physical labor and the internet did for communication is what AI is promising to do for mental and creative labor. So the hype is real, but if you multiply 0 by a million, you still get 0. The solopreneur unicorn, that one-person billion-dollar company Sam Altman is predicting, isn't going to be built by a guy who opened ChatGPT and just hit generate ideas. It's going to be built by someone who understands leverage, which is why the best business for 2026 isn't a single app, it's something that's unique to you. If you want to create a business that will truly excel, you need to find the match between the tech and your strengths. That's what I'm here to do. I've broken down the 2026 AI economy into 5 distinct skill trees that will help you identify the path to your first million, and for each one, I'm going to give you the exact numbers of how these businesses actually make money. First up, the architect. There's really only one rule in business: money follows value. No matter how much you hit generate, no one is going to give you money unless you're creating real value for them. And on the flip side, if you can make something in their life easier, faster, better, more comfortable, more valuable, you've made a guaranteed customer. And in 2026, the biggest value you can offer someone is time. There's a line a lot of creators on YouTube will tell you: you've got to spend less time working in your business and more time working on your business. But let me tell you something. The reality is every business has its boring, repetitive tasks. The reason 80% of companies' value is coming from 20% of their time and 80% of their time is spent creating 20% of their value is not because they're not smart. They wish they could be spending their time where it matters most, but they have to enter their email 50 times a day. They have to copy data from lead forms to spreadsheets. They have to follow up with a client who missed their call because they're at lunch. You've heard the cliche, when there's a gold rush, don't dig for gold, sell shovels. Well, the architect builds the shovels. Let me break down exactly what this looks like in my own business, because this is exactly what I do. I run a cold outbound agency, meaning I find leads and book sales calls for B2B companies. That's business to business. Companies want to know who they can sell to, and the manual way of doing things is brutal. You have to spend hours scrolling through LinkedIn, copy paste all their information in a spreadsheet, go back and research every company, try to write a clever email that's probably gonna get ignored anyway, and then remember to follow up 3 days later. So I became an architect. I built a system that automates all of that. I identify exactly who the client should be targeting, and the AI scrapes places like Apollo and LinkedIn to find everyone who fits a description, qualifies each of those leads to make sure they're a good fit, and sends a personalized email to each one. Now let's do some quick napkin math to show you why the margins are so silly for this business model. We run what's called a retainer model, usually between $2,500 and $5,500 a month per client. The API cost to scrape a lead, run it through GPT-5 for research, and send the email might cost me 3-5 cents tops, but I've saved those companies easily hundreds of man hours by handing them a calendar full of qualified sales calls. They don't care what it costs me, they care about the value I'm delivering. That's why my business made over $1 million in its first year of operation with about 85% profit margins. And this is a system that I can offer to as many companies as I want at the same time. If you want to see exactly how I made the system, I've got a link below to Scaling System Society. This is a comprehensive system that takes complete beginners, no offer, no audience, no experience, and gives them everything they need to sign their first B2B client in 60 days, or I'll give you your money back. Inside, I give you a breakdown of the playbook I just gave you, a one-on-one copy of the system I use for my own clients. But we're also going to teach you the fundamentals, how to pick a niche, how to write copy that converts leads, and how to close the deal. No matter what skill tree you go down, these skills are going to stick with you for the rest of your life. And to prove the system that I teach actually works, we've already had over 100 members sign their first client, and more than 18 of them have scaled already past making $10,000 a month. You'll find the link in the description below if you're interested. Now, being the architect isn't a free and easy road to passive income. This is actually one of the harder paths I'm going to show you today, because you're taking on all the repetitive administration work that nobody else likes to do. You have to actually get out there and close deals with real business owners. You need to get into the weeds of how their systems work. work, what they're spending all day doing. You're also going to need a little technical knowledge, how to use tools like Make or Zapier, though a pro tip, learn Make or init because Zapier gets expensive really fast. But if you're someone who's type A, who loves the idea of breaking open all these different businesses and seeing how they work, and you're comfortable operating at a really conceptual level, this is one of the highest leverage service businesses out there. But maybe spreadsheets make you want to cry. Maybe you're not the systems guy, you are the vision guy. Maybe you are the artist. This is basically the evolution of the faceless channel model. In the old days of like 2024, faceless YouTube meant hiring a cheap editor and a bad voice actor. Here in 2026, you're a one-man picture studio. Literally every week, there's a new module coming out that lets you make Hollywood-grade visuals and audio from your laptop. Tools like Zora, Nano Banana, aka Gemini 3, 11 Labs. The barrier to entry is literally zero, which is exactly why the internet is flooding with slop. But this is actually a really bad business model. Not to mention just really annoying for anyone to see in their feeds. You can make 1,000 shorts about like, I don't know, exploding watermelons. And congratulations, one of those 1,000 videos you made broke through and got 1 million views. The RPM, revenue per 1,000 views, is maybe 5 cents. So you made $50 for the entire month. The business model for the artist is about curation. Let's say you make high quality documentaries about finance or tech. You make one video a week and they get 100,000 views, but the RPM is $20. That's $8,000 a month, and that's just AdSense. The real money is obviously made in the back end. I think the right kind of personality for the artist skill tree is pretty self-explanatory. You need to be creative, you need to understand pacing, editing, and storytelling. You have a whole movie crew in your laptop, but you have to step up as the director. But if you love art and music, if you've got a beat on pop culture, this is your lane. Next is the merchant. This is for the person who sees a product and instantly knows who it's for. This looks like e-commerce or TikTok shop. E-commerce used to be hard. You needed inventory, a warehouse, a photo shoot. But today, the TikTok shop has over 70 million products and has completely democratized marketing. The product already exists. All you need to do is make the marketing for it. And in case you didn't know, with the release of Gemini 3, the ability to take an image of a product that already exists and generate images of it from any angle, in any location with accurate text, even video with Sora AI, has all gone through the roof. I mean, just look at this. This was just not possible 6 months ago. Your challenge here is obviously this requires you to put a little more cash up front, but you're able to scale this to whatever you want, whatever you are comfortable with. You've got to find the right product and get it to the right person with the right delivery. But if you've got that hustler gene, AI just gave you a sales team of 10,000 robots working for free. Maybe you've been watching this video thinking that's great, but my skills aren't in business, they're in something else. Maybe you've worked in HVAC for 20 years and you know exactly what sucks about it. Maybe you're a lawyer and you hate filing discovery motions. Maybe you're just a total nerd about health and fitness. That's great. You are the expert, and the only fundamental you need to remember is KISS. Keep it simple, stupid. AI models are generalists. They are okay at pretty much everything and people use them for pretty much anything. Now, I love ChatGPT and Claude and all the rest, but when I have a problem, I don't call the guy who's pretty good at solving it. I want an expert. Now, look at this app. This is Cal.ai. This was built by teenagers. They realized counting calories sucks, and AI has vision and a way to look up the calories and macro contents of pretty much any food. All they did was wrap OpenAI's vision API in a nice interface and train it to get really good at doing one thing, and they made millions. If you can build a tool that solves one burning pain for a specific industry that you know a lot about, say you charge $50 a month, you get 200 users. That's it, 200 users. You're not building AI for writing, you're building AI for landscapers to quote lawn sizes using satellite maps. If you get 200 users, that's $10,000 a month. In the software world, a business with $100K a year in profit is an asset that can sell for $400,000 or $500,000 easily. And last of all, maybe you're just passionate about AI. You're already here, so that puts you in about the top 0.1% of the population who actually understands what's happening. That can be all you need to be the Vanguard. The Vanguard creates value based on the gap between the present and the future. Maybe you've seen this before. This is what's called the innovation adaptation curve. This is how trends start, with just a few people who are the early adopters before everybody gets in. Right now, I'd say we're here, probably still in the early adopter phase, maybe the early majority. That means more than half of people are over here. There's a gap between what they're capable of right now and what they're capable of with AI. For example, are millions of small creators, coaches, and consultants who are terrified of AI. They know it's coming, they know they need it, but they're used to the old way of doing things and they don't don't know where to start. The Vanguard is the person who partners with them and builds that bridge. Say you find a fitness coach with a great following but no digital product. They're still trading time for money, doing Zoom calls all day long. You come in and offer to take their knowledge, feed it into an AI, help them build a course, a community, and a custom coaching bot that mimics their style. Again, imagine a creator who's getting 100,000 views on their videos. You launch a $50 a month community and just 1% of their fans join. That's $50,000 a month in recurring revenue. You take 50% for building the infrastructure. You just made yourself $25,000 a month without building an audience from scratch yourself. Now here's the truth about 2026. The barrier to entry for creating a business has dropped to 0, but the barrier to attention is higher than ever. If you try to do all of these, you'll probably fail. If you try to copy exactly what worked in 2024, you'll probably fail. But if you know where your skills are, where your value is, there is nothing holding you back. No matter which skill tree you choose, you're going to need clients. If you want to master the skill of landing clients on autopilot, the link to Scaling System Society is in the description. I'll see you guys in the next video.